All right. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is March 4th. I'm here with Amy Weiss. I'm so excited. So as you guys may have seen in January, the end of January, there was the Inspire 2020 Summit or conference in San Antonio, Texas. And so it was an awesome conference. A lot of people came and a lot of content was shared at this conference. So I'm super excited to talk to you today with Amy about the Inspire 2020 Virtual Summit, which is March 18th through the 20th, and then there will be we'll talk through the time that you can get those seminars, get those trainings. So I wanted to introduce you if you're new to the group because we have a ton of new people. So Amy Weiss and I have been friends for over 2 years, 2.5 years. She's a private label seller, entrepreneur, multiple income streams. She's in our sister group, Amazing at Home. If you're not in it, feel free to join it, especially if you want to learn private label. And so she's going to share tell us, good morning. Tell us about the Inspire 2020 Virtual Summit.
Yes. So, I wanted to do, this was my first ever hosted business conference.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a big deal for me. I was turning 40 years old and I thought, I don't want to hang out with I don't want to have a traditional 40th birthday party. This community, this online community has got me through it. Right? I know all of us are in this community and we get each other through this stuff. Oh, so I was like, how cool would it be if I could have a business conference in San Antonio, or we were looking at different locations, but I just wanted an opportunity for us to get together. And then I wanted a business conference, unlike, most of the business conferences I've been to, you just kind of sit there and you watch presentations. And
right.
Your most favorite parts of the business conference are when in between presentations. Sometimes the presentations, they just give you information and you aren't sure how to act on it.
Right.
And so I wanted to do something different. I wanted to take my military training background and be able to provide information that's actually executable. Yeah. So we did 3 days. And then the other thing is, there's so many, no matter what business model you have, we all struggle with the same things. Yeah. We all struggle with understanding what our business is supposed to be, right? Yeah. I mean, okay, I've got all these different streams of income. I'm selling all these things, but what is my business supposed to be? How do I talk about it? How do I present, if I'm sourcing, how do I get a wholesaler to sign on with me if I'm not confident? And I don't know, do I call myself an Amazon seller? What do I do? How do I, and then what is my business? The second thing that people wonder about is, what is my business to become? Yes. Right? I'm here and I'm kind of going through the motions, and maybe I had a plan, maybe I didn't, but I'm doing my thing. But then what is this in 5 years? Right. Or what is it in 10 years? Yeah.
It can totally change in 30 days.
Yes, exactly. So I felt a calling, Jess. I felt a calling to provide this information to get people together. And so I just reached out to experts in the field here in San Antonio, as well as our online experts, people that I knew online. And I said, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do 3 days helping people get after their business why, and then put their goals and milestones, map them out, and then get into execution. How do I grow my team? Can you help? Right. And nearly everybody, it was kind of a short runway because we were asking in October and this was happening in January. Right. And and so but nearly everyone said yes. And it was incredible. It was a lot of work, but it was incredible. And so after it, we said, you know what? Why? We have such a large following all over. If you couldn't come to San Antonio, why don't we do it virtually? We'll invite a few more speakers in. We'll make it super affordable. And so that's what we're doing. We have all the presentations, we have all the worksheets, we have everything that we did at the conference, except for the nighttime stuff, like we did a pitch perfect workshop and stuff like that.
Right.
Obviously, you can't get everything that you get in person, but you have all the presentations, all of the great stuff that we did at Inspire in a virtual summit. So we're gonna kick it off on May the 18th, or May.
I know.
March.
I was that too. I'm like, oh, don't rush it. It's March.
It's March.
Yes.
Exactly. So I was just online talking about the licensing expo, which is in May. So I've got May on my mind.
I know, right?
But March. So we're gonna do it in March, this month, in a couple of weeks here, March 18th through the 21st. And then those videos will be available up to 60 days afterwards. So if you are like, well, I can't watch 3 days of content on those 3 days. It's spring break. I don't know what I'm going to do. You know, maybe I can catch a few, but I can't watch all that. Well, they're going to be there for 60 days afterwards so you can catch up. And they're all organized in units in a Facebook group so that you can go through each one and go, okay, this was day one. Let me watch all these presentations. And our conference was designed to build on each day. And then the other thing that we're going to do during these days is we are going to have new speakers like Jess, and we are also going to have some Q&A sessions with the speaker presentations that are already in the group. So it'll be great to have those people back so you can ask your questions, just like the people who were there got to ask their questions. And it'll also be great to learn from new people. So we have Yavmer Suko coming on, and he's going to talk about some Facebook ad hacks. That's going to be awesome. We have Jess Hill, and she's going to talk about multiple streams of income, because who doesn't need all those things?
Right.
And then we have, oh my gosh, we have Becky Thames coming on talking about e-commerce. I believe Andy Arnott might be coming on and talking about some PPC stuff. But either way, we're inviting some great new speakers. I'm finalizing that list right now and following up with everybody, but I'm excited about the new people coming on. I'm so excited about the content that was provided during this conference. And so Jess, tell us a little bit more about what you're going to be presenting.
Yes.
And then we'll get into the 3 days of content.
Right. So I am creating my content is about creating multiple income streams on e-commerce. So as I go through my asset column, I'm like, wow, I have over 11 e-commerce. It's more than that, because when I wrote it down and then I kept thinking of more. 11 income streams that are all e-commerce related. And so I was like, you know what? Other people probably want to know that. Like, yes, I sell on Amazon, but I have all these other, income streams, and some of them are building rather quickly. So I wanted to share the different income streams that you can build, not just the ones I have, and what they are. Like, are they a product driven, products selling inventory, or are you doing, digital marketing is something I really dove into, and or service driven, like coaching, or something that you can sell your time, So I wanted to give that information for everyone, because we're out here and this is an e-commerce space. It's not just Amazon. There's so many opportunities. And what I'm trying to be, talking with my mentoring clients now, for sure, we're talking about Amazon. We know that that's the big one for my group. But I'm also asking them the question of, what do you love? What are you passionate about? And how can we build income streams around that, right? So maybe you're a crafter, or maybe you're a teacher. What can you create that gives you joy? I'm totally in love with selling products online, physical, goods, bras and candy and all that. That's great, and I love it. But what other things, as we look to the future, that you can build over the next 10 years, and you have your asset column, and it's just, you're growing that asset column. I've been reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, so, and that's the point, right? We want to get to a place where we're living our life fulfilled with doing the things with our time that we love. And everything is monetizable, like literally everything.
I love that.
you just have to think how to do it, right? So I was talking the other day, literally, if you love cats, you love cats. You can do all kinds of things. You can have service-driven things. You can have, you can create products that are related to cats. You can create print-on-demand t-shirts. So I'm just going to talk through creating multiple income streams and putting those little thoughts in people's head about, oh, you know what?
I can make some money on that.
I can make money. And not only can I make some money, but I love that. I'm really passionate about health and wellness, or whatever it is, whatever you love, And then that's what I've been pulling out of my mentoring students. So I'm like, why don't I just launch it to everybody, right? Launch those questions and those ideas. So that's I'm excited, because it's been a really good service for me for my own fulfillment. So I wanted to bring that to you guys.
And I'm stoked, we're offering this 3 days of content plus all these additional speakers for only $99. Right. And so, I mean, if you even had to spend 1 hour with Jess, you would spend more than that, Right. And right. So what she's teaching you is going to allow you to make more money. So, yeah. It's going to be a great investment, and we're glad that we can make it so affordable for everybody to attend. It just was too good to let all this information just go. Right. But I want to talk about, I'm so excited to hear about that, Jess. And I love like thinking through this stuff, innovating on different ideas. But I want to tell everyone about just the 3 days, like the 3 days that are besides the extra speakers. So the first day starts out with your why, your business why. And we do this exercise with you where we have you answer certain questions that get you to, because we all do these why exercises, like, what's my why? What's my, my reason for wanting to have freedom? But have you figured out what your business's why is?
Right.
Why does your business exist? What is your business's why? So Kristin walks us through all of these exercises to figure out, like, she has us answer all of these questions. And then at the end, we have like these aha moments. During the questions, we're like, why am I writing this down? I don't even get it. And then it just like builds up together. And at the end, you have this amazing business why, like your business is defined. It's so cool. So that was our business builder night that we did. And then we get into day one. So we talk about mindset. I started off talking about mindset and how important it is in moving yourself forward. Most of our limiting beliefs are what keep us from moving forward in our business. We don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in what we could do. We don't believe in our business's potential. We're scared. There's a lot of fear involved. So I start us off teaching us that all about your mind and how your mind works and why you are the one feeding yourself that negative information, and your brain is going to believe it. So I'm going to give you some awesome techniques to turn that around and get you saying, yes, I can totally do this. I can do anything I put my mind to, and here I go. So that's how we start the whole thing off. And then we have Zahra Cruzan. She is the brand author. And she came in and she talked to us about branding and the colors and the packaging and just everything, like what makes a brand valuable. And she gives us all these practical examples. And then she showed us how she could make one change on a package, and suddenly, like, every retailer wanted this product. Suddenly it was selling like crazy. In one case, she changed a product from like it was marketed to women, and she looked at like the ingredients and she studied the market and everything, and they marketed it to men and
totally
off the shelves. Yeah. So really learning how to study that stuff is so valuable,
It's for everything too. Social media, products, all of it.
Exactly. It goes through and through. So, and then Ashleigh Peregoy, she came and talked to us about vision. And what she made me realize is that our brands and our businesses are actually a representation of us. Yes. And if we create a brand or a business that isn't a representation of us, if we're just like trying to create something over here, it will make us unsettled with our business. Right. And she like really digs into that, and you're just like, wow, I didn't even realize,
That makes sense, you
Yeah.
know?
Why did I never think of that before? And then Stephanie Scheller came and talked to us about marketing. Oh my gosh, it was so good because she's a really great marketing coach as it is, but she gave us some practical ways to understand how to set up our marketing so that whatever method we choose, because she talks about like, okay, how many people have spent money on Facebook ads that didn't work? You know, like I think every one of us has spent money on PPC that didn't work. Everyone, you know, so she talks about how to set up your foundation so that it doesn't matter what method you use, it's going to work. And she explains why. And it's just awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Then we had Tim Bush come talk to us about pitching. And the cool thing about Tim, and we did a video with him the other day, but the cool thing about his presentation is it's not just about pitching your product. So I know those of you who do retail arbitrage, you're like, I don't need to pitch. I sell popular brands. But guess what? You pitch your business every single day. When you are dealing with customers, when you are dealing with potential suppliers, you need to know how to win in negotiation tactics and in pitching your business and presenting your business. And he taught us that pitching is a conversation. He taught us how techniques to use when we get in certain situations. So now, no matter whether I have a product or I'm talking to a potential client or I'm talking to, you know, a supplier, I know how to make both of us feel like winners and work together. And that's so cool. That is such an awesome skill to have. And Tim did such a good job teaching us that. And then finally, the end of day one, we had Krystina. I can't even pronounce her last name. She's
okay.
amazing. She's amazing.
In the group. I can tag her.
There you go. We had her talk about, well, first of all, she was so nervous. This was her first time.
No, I love her so much.
She's amazing. But she basically went up to the front of the stage and she was like, I don't need this script. I've been so stressed out about this for days. And she's like, I don't need this script. And she threw away the script and she just talked to us. She told us how she came from Russia, how she built her business from nothing, how she was working for another business. And then she had the gumption to kind of like take that over and start her own brand, how she has products that people can sign up for through their insurance company to have them covered, how she did all of that.
I know what she sells. Yes.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. So it was so great to hear her story and then like just get some practical advice. So there's a lot of Q&A sessions in there as well. Okay. And then we had day number 2. Nechole Whitlock came and talked to us again about mindset.
Yes. I love her.
But in a way that honestly gave me chills.
Right?
I have never thought about my life the way that I thought. And I'm a very deep, like emotional, like connected person. And she made me really think about my life and my future in a way that I have never thought about it before. And I was just so honored to have her come and talk about that. And she was going to teach something else. And she came and she's like, I'm feeling like I need to do this. And
yeah.
It was so good. And then Kristin came back on and she talked to us about strategy and growth. So this is what we were talking about in the beginning. We were like, what is your business in 10 years?
Right.
She actually teaches us how to think through that. Like we've all heard, we've read books. Okay.
Books, lots of books.
Yeah, but that doesn't help us understand what to do with our business. How can we so she gives us practical exercises to understand, to think through what our business is going to become in 10 years or 5 years or 1 year. And then she teaches us how to get there, you know, and that was so cool. I mean, I love that exercise. I used to teach this class with her and even doing it, like sitting in the audience, doing it with her during the conference, it was incredible. So that was so great. So we're going to learn how to grow. We're going to learn what our business can become and we're going to learn how to get there. And then we had Natalie Gingrich come and talk to us. She is the ops authority and she has run operations for major companies. And operations is what runs your business. And she taught us about these 7 strategic objectives that every business has. And then she taught us how to prioritize them and understand what to work on when in our business. So no matter what business we have, we need to understand how to prioritize.
Yes.
Can I get an amen?
Can I get an amen? Right?
We need to understand that. And she did such a good job teaching us. It's like an easy strategy that we can do with Post-it notes. And she taught us how to do it. And she taught us how to like reprioritize these 7 strategies and how to work on them and when to work on them. And it just made so much sense. And again, it was one of those like aha moments, and it was another tool in my toolbox. Then I came and talked to us about goal setting. So I know many people have read the 12-week year. Well, when I was in the military, I was a war planner, and I spent a lot of time planning and running teams. And I got a lot of training on that, and I use that every day in my business. So what I did is I took the 12-week year and I put my military spin on it. And so I taught people how to take those. So now you have this vision for your business, right? From Kristin. And then Natalie taught you how to do the 7 strategic objectives. And so you've got these ideas of these goals that you have. Well, how do you actually accomplish those goals and put them on a timeline?
Right.
How do you hold yourself accountable? How do you spend your time? I teach you that. So practical exercises, how to do it, when to do it, why to do it, tools to use. Then, oh my goodness, this, like when I think about this presentation, it makes me want to cry like a little girl. Next, we had AJ Smit, and she talked to us about taking care of ourselves, because she talked to us about being permission givers and taking care of ourselves. And this is something that we don't do. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I mean, we've got kids, we've got houses, we've got businesses. And how often do we actually take care of our soul and ourselves? And she taught us how to address our inner critic. I didn't even know what an inner critic was.
Yeah.
Now I have a defender of my inner critic, and I pull her out. She has a name. I pull her out and she defends me on a regular basis, and that helps me get through the day. So that's what you're going to learn with AJ's stuff. Good. And then finally, we just have one more day. I know this is a lot of content, you guys.
It's a ton of content. It's a ton, and like hours of content, and like it's so much. I love it. Amazing.
It is. It's awesome though. It's really great. Like, you know, just one of these presentations is worth so much more, but you know, I'm just so excited to be able to bring it to people. So that's awesome. So then the third day it was all about execution. So the third day was like, okay, we've got our goals, we've got our map, we're good to go. Now what? So day 3 was the now what day. So we had Jeff Schick come and talk to us about business law. And I know business law sounds boring, but Jeff Schick paid for law school selling on Amazon.
Yeah, totally. It's totally amazing.
Yes. So he talked to us specifically about e-commerce law stuff, and he made it make sense. Like he talked to us in layman's terms, and everybody had so many questions. They were talking about suspensions. They were talking about copyrights, talking about all these things and techniques to use. So again, that's another presentation that alone is gold. And then we had a roundtable on financing your business. We had a guy come and talk to you about like if you need seed funding, that kind of thing, how to apply, when to apply, what kind of things do you need to have in place. So we have that presentation in there. Then I did a presentation on social media planning. I basically shared my screen the whole time and walked you guys through how to actually
good content,
find good content that your audience is looking for. Yeah. And then how to apply that. You know, have you ever done a YouTube video and you're wondering what tags to put in there so that people can find it? Have you ever posted something on Facebook and you're wondering like, what hashtag should I use?
I do it every day.
Have you ever posted a blog post and wondered, what is this alt text? And should I be like, how do I do SEO? Like, I teach you all about that. So that was really fun. And then we had Joy Packard come, and I know many of you know Joy. She's amazing.
Yes, she's amazing.
She talked to us about how basically she built all these businesses by outsourcing. So she taught us how to clone ourselves using virtual assistants.
Yep.
Who doesn't need that? She taught us how to manage our time.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So again,
she has 8 kids. She has 8 kids, and what is it, 12 grandbabies or something? Like, yes. She has a huge family. She doesn't want to be working all the time. She wants to outsource. So I love it. I love her, and I love her.
Yes.
Yes.
And then finally, to round out day 3, we had Kevin Dickinson, and he came and talked to us about how he scaled his business to 7 figures, and how he basically started his business out of his garage. And he now is doing it full time, and he's got like 300 SKUs all under one brand. You know, like many people have like 800 SKUs under 16 brands, but he's got them all under one brand. His one of his products was worn by Kylie Jenner. Like, I mean, this was a bit, you know, so he talks about like how he started in his garage. He started on Etsy, and then he learned about e-commerce, and he just kind of built this whole thing. He talks about like he pitched to Party City, you know, all of those things. It was so cool learning about that. It's good to have practical examples, right? Of, oh, wow, okay, yeah, that applies to me, or oh, that's interesting that you did that, and maybe I could do that too. And so anyway, that's all 3 days. I know, hopefully I haven't bored you guys.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And we needed to know, because like we can look at the event page, but giving us a little bit more of what and who, and you know, where they're taught, like who they are and how long they've been selling or whatever. It's always a benefit to know who your speakers are, right? And so I am so excited for this event. I know that, you know, being a partner with Amy for over 2.5 years, every single thing she touches is gold. There is content, there is, you know, she's been helping us optimize our listings. You know, she's doing all of this to serve us and serve the e-commerce community. And now she's bringing all these speakers together, and we're all serving you. So I'm super excited, and I love that, you know, we can watch from the comfort of our couch. I love to travel and I love to meet people, but it's really convenient when we have these summits where you can do it from your couch, and you know, and then you can take in the content as you know, we all have lives, we're shipping and doing all these things, but now we have all of these, you know, 3 days worth of speakers, so much content to absorb, more than you can get out of any one book, you know. So it's amazing. So I really appreciate you. I appreciate you putting it together. I appreciate you getting all of these amazing people together, you know, and for the common good of us sellers. And this is way affordable. This should be $999. You know, this is ridiculous. So with the amount of content that you're going to learn and you're going to absorb, so that you can grow whatever 1, 2, 3 into 10 streams, and ideas abound, right?
Yes.
So I love it, and I'm excited.
Thank you for having me, and I hope to see you all during the virtual summit. And I'm excited to have Jess on during the virtual summit because she couldn't come to the conference. So this is great.
I have all these kids everywhere. So if you have a question, please leave a question. Tag me and Amy, or me or whatever in the thread here. In the this video will be you know, the replay is here in the group. If you have any questions, or you can PM me or Amy if you have any questions. I have my link if you'd like to sign up. So yeah, I think that's it.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys at Inspire, and we will also see you in the groups.
Yay! All right, happy Wednesday. Thanks.
Bye.